That freaks me out every time you say that. Well, it's okay, dude. I mean, it's me. It's me on the phone. All right, you're in the document, and here we go. I'm looking at the date, which is correct, and you've got two prospects. What is going on with this first store in lovely Weatherford, Texas?
Well, it was on the market with a realtor, and she had someone that she thought she had a contract with, but it didn't work. So she texted me last week and told me it was back on the market. She acted like he was getting a loan for, must have been the 269 or thereabouts. And her daughter sent me an email last night with some different stuff that had her gross sales on there and her taxes for the building, which is very, very small. So I know originally you had talked to the landlord at one point, but he never really got back to us. He was talking about $11 a square foot, but then never did get back to confirm that with her or anything. And then all of a sudden, the other person has got the.
So your conversation now is a person, someone's daughter, the person, the salesperson, the salesman, the realtor. Here's the thing: we deal with two different types of entities. We deal with landlords and we deal with operators. We don't call operators because they're never going to give you their store. They just won't. We're human beings. You're in a concentration camp and forget those Nazis. We're going to do whatever we can and throw stones into the works and monkeys into the wrench. We're going to survive this thing, right? And you're not about to give your failing, horrible, miserable laundromat that's not making money away. No way. You're going to sell it for $269,000. So you've got the failing operator, you've got the business broker, the cousin, the nephew, but who do we deal with?
We only are dealing with the owner operator, Cassie.
Oh, God, no. I'm talking general terms, dude. We deal with the landlord.
Right. We do it. Okay. Gotcha.
And if they happen to be the operator of the business, great. We need to grab them by the collar and make them understand the way this works. You're going to collect rent. You're not going to sell a failed business for 270 grand. They want to sell the building too. Great. Not to us. I can't do magic. I can't talk them out of that. Your notes say on 11/15, based on the email sent to me from Cassie. You're killing me, dude. I don't know who me is. I assume that's you. So the note should read, Steve received an email from Cassie, blah, blah, blah. Dude, this is all bullshit. 40, 50,000. They're making $45,000 a year. No, they're not. They're not. These are all lies. Just help me out and understand this is all so convoluted on here. Who owns the building?
Cassie Measures.
Cassie.
She's the owner operator.
Okay.
And
the word owner doesn't live in our vernacular. She's the landlord and she's operating a failed laundromat. I mean, look at it, dude. Look at it.
Yeah. I went back in last week.
Look at it.
It's the same.
Look at it. Is this place making 50 grand a year? No. What do you want me to say to her?
Well, I assume that the objective is still to get a lease on the building. The problem that I know of is that when you had talked to the realtor who used to be involved, that is no longer involved, he said that she wanted to only sell the building. So I don't know if she's open to doing a lease, and she didn't have any money to do improvements.
Okay, that's fine. Not every landlord gives us TI money. The point is, my question was, what do you want me to ask her for a lease?
For a lease, yeah.
She's not going to sell this place for 200. She wants to wash her hands of the entire place.
Right. And I don't know if, so you never do a lease to purchase or anything like that, right?
Sure. You want to buy this building? Why would it make sense for you to own this building?
Well, it doesn't at that kind of money.
You just said
But
it. It
if you
doesn't.
look,
It doesn't.
yeah,
We
but
are.
for her taxes of being $1,100
I don't care
a
about
year,
her taxes. I don't care about any of that. Neither do you. Do you have $270,000 burning a hole in your pocket?
of course not.
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know your finances. People buy laundromats
what I
every
mean is,
day, and people buy buildings every day. Dude, let me do my job. I'm going to call her up and try to talk her into a lease. It's that simple. Just because someone's selling something, it doesn't mean you need to buy it.
well, yeah, I wasn't planning on buying it. I was just wondering about a lease to purchase for
We'll have
way less.
first right of refusal so that she can't sell it to anyone else without first running it by you.
Okay.
All I'm doing now is trying to make you understand how this works. I thought you did.
Well, I do.
Okay.
I do know.
So why are we reinventing the wheel? It's a cash business in rented space. Let's call Cassie. Here we go.
Hello.
Cassie.
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Cassie,
Hello?
hi, my name's Danny. You spoke to my
Uh-huh.
partner, Steve, in reference to your building in Weatherford, the freestanding laundromat out there.
Yes. Yes.
Cassie, let me tell you who I am and what I do, and maybe we can do business. I have been running laundromats in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona for almost 20 years. I want to become an operator here. My partner and I sign long-term leases in space like this, and then we retool the laundry. I want to spend some money on washers and dryers, make this place a thriving laundromat once again. I'm afraid I can't help you with the sale of the business because we are not in the market for real estate currently. You might understand that. Depending on what the market is, sometimes we do buy the buildings. We will ask for first right of refusal on this deal. But
I don't know. What does that mean?
So that if we become your tenant at some point down the road, we want to talk to you about the purchase of the building, if and when it makes sense, and that's a big if. That said, you and I are just talking right now.
Right.
I understand what you want to do, but what I want to do, and I think we can meet in the middle most certainly. What I want to do is lease the space from you, and if I can lease the space at a zero-sum game at a reasonable rate. I have laundromats in centers where there are national chains as anchors, Walmart centers, Target, and where we're talking about landlords that have millions of square feet under their belt and under their umbrella. I know you are different, and I also deal with some family operated and owned real estate as well. I don't have a crystal ball, but I don't know if and when you will sell the building and the business, because right now, let's talk brass tacks. You're looking for a very specific individual that either wants the dirt and they want to maybe level the laundromat, or another individual that is very unique because they want to buy the dirt and buy the laundromat and try to operate it. Okay, those people do exist. We are different because I'm looking to lease the space, sign a long-term lease with you. You're operating the laundry, correct? You're running it.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that does two things for you. Number one, if we come to an agreement and the rate is reasonable and commensurate for a laundromat, you no longer have to do anything, obviously. You're not sweeping the floors or
Yeah.
collecting the coin. But I want you to
Yeah.
understand my modus operandi is very different. Steve and I intend to retool it, spend a few $100,000 on washers and dryers, have coat drives
Mhm.
in the winter for our consumers, have barbecues in the summer. It can become a
Mhm.
very different animal. As you know, there are good businesses, Cassie, and there are poor businesses. So
Mhm.
the zero sum game, look, if the lease rate makes sense, you can end up getting your 260,000, but it's going to take you 15 years to get it.
Yeah, but I'm 71 years old and I need to retire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Retirement, I know for a fact that part of a real estate portfolio is a great retirement. And I can't talk you into that, Cassie. What I'm offering here with this property, hell, let's talk about your selling the property for a minute, okay?
Okay. Okay.
As discussed, I don't want to repeat myself, moments ago, you're trying to sell the building and the laundromat for an inflated price to a potential buyer. Okay. Imagine a
Okay.
year from now, you've signed a lease with us. We've spent hundreds of thousands on washers, dryers, proper procedures. We have a thriving laundromat. Now,
Mhm.
Cassie, you put the dirt, the building back for sale. Now you're selling what? Instead of looking for a potential consumer that's an investor that wants to own a laundromat and a building and a parking lot, you're looking for someone that wants a long term investment. Again, unlike
Yeah.
you, I've done this several times. And again, my crystal ball says that that might be an option for you. I can't talk you into it. I can't speak on your family and whether or not the kids or the grandkids want the space. It's hard to
Yeah.
get them to work. I know how that is. But I'm offering you I'm offering you an alternative. Not
Mhm.
necessarily a life vest, but an alternative. Because if we
But why wouldn't you want to buy my building?
because of the current state of real estate, I'm not purchasing buildings, I'm not buying apartments. Frankly, in my portfolio, I'm buying only investment properties that are in resort areas because people that have money still ski. They still go to Mexico, but that's another story for another day. I'm not your
Yeah.
buyer, but I will sign a lease with you and we will start swinging hammers. And you said retirement, what's better than collecting a check? I'm not looking for you to come in and help me sweep the floors.
Yeah. Yeah. So, probably I'm not saying no, but you would have to talk to my daughter. And as far as calling it a family business, we are only calling it that because my mother and daddy started it and bought it in 1971, and I've been running it for 32 years. It's only part-time job and it's not very much income, but it's mostly a lot of sentimentality, and I live 2 blocks from the laundry, and we just keep it going. And
Sure.
so, but my daughter, she has no interest in it legally, but uh she's the one that would know how to talk to you on what we could do. And
Okay.
I would rather you talk to her, actually. um so um could she call you sometime?
Uh, sure. I mean, I'm in my office making the calls right this very minute. I'd love to dial her up. Or I mean, if you need some type of permission, maybe you can call her and we could do a conference call. That way it'd be
No.
an introduction.
Well, no, she wouldn't mind if you called her, but she has a full-time job, in the oil and gas industry, and she is super, super busy. But I mean, we have almost done deals with multiple people on the laundry, and it always, seems to not fall through.
Well,
But
you haven't talked to me yet.
yeah, okay. Well, okay. So what kind of a lease are we talking about anyway? What kind of money are we talking about?
As little as possible,
Me-
Cassie, as little as possible. And I'll be
Right.
honest, look, you're a great landlord to talk to about this business because, like you said, you've been running it for 30 years. So you know what it's
Mhm,
earning now. If you had to
mhm,
allocate rent to yourself, what could you afford? That's a
mhm.
dangling participle. I don't expect a real answer. That's a rhetorical. Think about that
Yeah,
and
yeah.
understand I don't intend to run it the way it is. So
Right, right, right.
my debt service on new, it's like, look, I can keep an old car running forever, but I'm not going to try to run an Uber out of it. It's different. In this
Uh-huh.
case, running this as a successful business, we have to infuse it with cash. We have to put new equipment in. I'm looking for 15-year term, and I can't answer what the best rate of rent is. I can't answer that for
Yeah.
you. I don't know if you own
Okay.
it outright. I can't make assumptions if you have a mortgage. All of that is your
Yep.
business.
Yeah.
What would you
Okay.
like to
So,
collect in monthly rent? What would you like to collect?
oh, minimum 2,000 a month, probably
And what is the square footage? I don't know if that's
1,500.
good or bad. So that's too much because it's a
Yeah.
1,500 square foot store. It's very small. And let me say this,
Mhm.
I prefer a 3,000 square foot footprint in a laundromat. Hey, you can't run a
Uh-huh.
McDonald's in a walk in closet, it just won't work. You don't have the
Right.
room that you need. Forget about the kids' play place and all the stuff you can add on to a huge McDonald's. Just saying, 1,500 is
Yeah.
survivable. What I plan on
Yeah.
doing is making room for a few more pieces of equipment, but people still have to fold. They still have to have
Yeah.
parking.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
can get
Yeah.
closer to 80 cents a square foot to start, you're
Mhm.
collecting the rent check. And for you and your family, you're collecting closer to $1,500 a month,
Yeah.
but
Well,
you're stepping
I don't
away.
know. Right. Now, where are you located? Where
Right,
did you say
right
Florida
here.
or did
No, God, no.
what?
You can't run a
What?
laundromat from Florida. I didn't
Oh,
say.
you're in
We're
Texas.
local.
Oh,
Yes.
oh. I don't know
Yes.
where I got that. Okay. Okay. Good deal. And you're aware there's only 3 laundromats in town, right?
Yes.
In Weatherford. Yes. Okay. Well,
And when we scoop this
why
one
don't
up and when we retool this one, the other two will quickly fall. And we might take them
yeah.
over or they might go away. So that's all part of it. Let me do
Well,
this.
probably the new one that just came in like 5 years ago. I doubt it would fold, but
Well, new and
the
five
other
years old are two different things. And by the way, you know what he did? He spent too
what?
much money on the equipment. He doesn't know what we know.
Oh, oh, okay.
So when you see what is a beautiful new laundromat, Cassie, what you don't know from the everybody thinks, oh, he's making money, he's doing well. But from the outside, it's hard to pay the bills when those bills are drastically inflated.
Yeah, and they're getting worse all the time. Yep. Okay, well, let me. I could call my daughter right quick and tell her that you are going to be calling her,
Yeah,
and if she is available,
perfect.
depends on if she's in a meeting or not. She has lots of meetings, but
I tell my mom the
you.
same thing. I'm always busy. All right,
Yeah.
look, do you feel comfortable providing her number?
Sure, it'd be okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's 817 Carter.
Perfect.
CARTER. I don't know if she'll be able to talk to you. If um, just wait about 10 minutes and I'll text her
Okay.
and tell her you're
And this is
calling.
your cell phone
Okay.
number as well?
Yes, this is.
Cassie, I appreciate the discussion if
This,
nothing else. And you know what? Today the phone rang and you have someone on the phone, a partnership, myself and Steve, who are interested and intrigued in signing a long-term lease, changing your outlook. Can I ask, it's not personal, do you have any other properties?
no.
Okay.
No,
So this would be a
not,
very, very different animal for you and your family because if nothing else, I'm letting you retire. You're walking away. You're not doing anything. You're collecting a rent check because the way we operate, you can put that in the lease. that you literally won't
Yeah.
handle maintenance, that you won't be involved physically in X, Y, or Z. I've seen stranger, trust me. So today is the day.
Mm-hmm.
Selling the place and the building for $269. I don't know. I can't speak to whether that will ever happen. How long's it been for sale?
Well, I've been trying on and off for about 4 years, but I haven't tried real hard. And all the realtors I've had don't know anything about how to go about it. Apparently, they just don't. They don't do anything for me.
I hear
I
you.
have done the majority. I have done the majority of the work, talking to all these people that are interested, having them to my house, going up there, meeting them. I've done everything the realtor should be doing, but because of the nature of the laundry, when people can just walk in there off the street and I happen to be there, then I have to talk to them, about the particulars of the laundry. And so,
Well, no one that ever walks in off the street is going to buy a laundromat. That's not the way it works. All right, listen.
well, it almost has. It almost has 2 times,
Well, in
I mean,
running my stores, your potential
yeah.
future operators are probably not going to be your customers. They're not the same ilk. So again,
So
you would
you, so you're wanting to put in new equipment, and then you find somebody to lease it, or it's actually
no. It is
doing.
our
Okay.
operation. My partner is your
Okay.
guarantor.
Oh, okay.
You should be very leery of anyone who's looking to do that. Distributors do that.
Yeah.
Business brokers do that. And then you're stuck with a tenant who, let's say that's a flip. So now
Yeah.
you're the landlord of a flipped laundromat. And that's a great question. You're the landlord of a laundromat that's been flipped, and I've sold it to someone at a drastically inflated price, like I talked about the other gentleman in town. And then what? Now you can't collect rent because this poor knucklehead doesn't know what they're doing. We do.
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, get with your daughter and let
All
us know. Even if
Okay.
it's a solid absolutely not, I'd love to hear it from you. Thank you so much for the time. We're going to run this
All right,
place in a
Mr.
very different way. 24 hours, a beautifully lit parking lot. We
Okay.
take care of everything
But
from security
you're
to
going
new
to call-
equipment.
All right, but you're going to call her in 10 minutes, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
All right,
I'll
ciao.
call her right now. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Danny. Okay. Bye.
Steve, are you alive?
Yes. Yes, I am alive.
I don't see any notes.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't write any notes yet. I wrote them on paper. I didn't type them.
I hate to bring this party to a screeching halt, but I beg you, if this is important to you, we're both in the same Google document and we're both staring at the same piece of paper here. Just note everything that's being said as it's being said. It allows me to do the job and not, I'm not calling you a secretary, but somebody needs to take the notes. So did you write down the daughter's number?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Put that in the notes if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
So we can dial her up. Also, understand this. In the heat of the moment, if you're not writing the notes and putting everything in the Google document, you will forget. You just will.
Okay.
I don't think there's a need to wait for 10 minutes. If you could just type that number in there, please. I'm going to call the daughter right now. What did she say her first name was?
Meg.
Got it.
Meg Carter.
Yep.
You see the.
Yep. Too busy to talk to mom. All right, here we go. Part 2, dialing up Meg Carter. Stay where you're at if you don't mind. Put the notes in the document. Off we go. Now's where you subscribe, you louts. Otherwise, you'll miss these lives. Subscribe. Sub. Come on, Meg.
You've reached the voicemail of Meg Carter.
Boy.
Please name, number, and a detailed message.
Okay, so as stated, the mom says that the daughter is really busy and she works in oil and gas, which a lot of folks do in Texas. I have both of their numbers in my phone, and I'm also going to hang up and send Meg a quick text. I normally don't send text because what we do is essentially a cold call. We want to get people kind of on their heels, sort of off guard. That should make sense to you. I don't text and say, hey, I want to own the laundromat, because then she's going to text back and say, well, no, I'm selling the building. And then it's a back and forth. The opposite of that was a conversation like we just had with a lovely woman who gave us, through conversation, all of her thoughts and dreams and hopes. Okay, it's a small store. No one's in love with it. It could end up being yours, most certainly, but not for $270,000. The end of the day, it ends up becoming a free laundromat. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, I'll send those texts. I will let you know the minute we hear back.
Okay. Sounds
Ciao.
good.
On to you people. Subscribe. Mac says he's here. Hello, Mac. New Laundry, whoever that. Okay, everybody's talking amongst themselves. Hendrix. Hell yeah. The left-handed genius. Sang says I was smooth. Thank you. Hook, line, and sinker. Okay, not quite yet. To Danny, how do I contact you for your services? Well, Victor, start with my silly course. And that is not apropos of nothing. I'm not selling anything. But look, you've got to, everybody wants to be a Top Gun pilot shooting down MiGs. Before you get your call sign, you need to learn to crawl. Forget about flying a prop plane. And the crawling is this, YouTube. You're here. Thank you. Pour over my 400 YouTube videos. I find that people cull tiny bits of information every time they watch one of these videos, if you have that kind of time. Or cut to the prop plane pilot's licensing and get the silly course. It's cheap. Always has been. One more. Danny was sanding down that defensive wall she put up, and now it's slowly smoothed out. No other YouTuber shows this. Okay, thanks, Sang. That's true. I'm not a YouTuber. If you haven't subscribed, do that. Thumbs up. I don't know. Be selfish. Don't do it for me. Do it for you so to miss these lives. I go live whenever. Nick, get the course. Victor, get the course. Bye.